you doing? I hope you're well. I'm Diana and welcome to my channel. Today I am sharing with you my TBR for the Amazing Readathon. The Amazing Readathon is a Discord-based readathon hosted by Bree from Four Paws in a Book, and like the name would suggest, it is inspired by The Amazing Race. This is the third year that it has run, and it's the second time I'm doing the readathon. I did have a lot of fun last year. I think it has an interesting concept. Every 3 to 4 days in the Discord, Bree will drop a prompt. So the idea is that we kind of don't know what we're reading until it happens. So that's why the Discord is super important. So last year we were given the sightseeing prompt. So the idea is if you read your leg prompt really quickly, once you get to the destination, you can then do some sightseeing while you're there and read some other books. Where this year we were given the 10 leg prompts, but we don't know which order they're going to be in. So I'll share with you what I'm planning on reading for each of those prompts. And we'll say that it seems to be that this year, unlike last year where we were going to countries, this year we are diving into some fantastical worlds. So very excited to see what that looks like. It is a bit complicated in terms of the scoring and things like that. So I will leave the intro video down below. This is a team-based readathon. So I am joining the Illusionist, which is hosted by Covers with Cassidy and Brittany Loves Reading. And we get a bonus prompt that we get extra points from every book that we read the school setting. I do love a magical school setting, so hopefully I can squeeze some on, although I don't think I've picked a single one. Actually, maybe one of them does have a school setting. But anyway, without further ado, let me share with you the books that I'm planning on reading for these prompts. So the first prompt is cozy book or comfort read, which love, it is winter here in Australia, so comfort reading is definitely needed. And for this, I am choosing to read Vampire Castle in the Sky, which is the second book in the Tales from the Faraway North series by Iris Lake. This does give me the same warm, cozy feelings of a Ghibli film, and I completely adored the first book, The Little Shop of Grand Curiosities, when I read it earlier this year. So we are following Thea Valentina, who we did meet in book 1, and she has spent her entire life following the path others decide for her until an unexpected tragedy forces her to carve her own. After she abandons her life in the faraway north, she embarks on a perilous journey in search of the whimsical and full of magic castle of her childhood memories and the little vampire prince she once called her friend. Instead, she finds a lethal man with an inescapable destiny and a haunted castle that is determined to bind them together. As the two of them are left with no choice but to lie their way through vampire society, they fall deep into the world of deceit, betrayal, and the worst kind of bloodlust. This one does sound a little bit darker than the other one, but I still think the writing and the world gave that kind of cozy vibe. So we'll see. I might have to swap this one out, but excited to dive into this one. The next prompt was super easy for me. It was a book with romance, and I'm going with Forget Me Twice by E.J. Campbell. I also need this for my buzzwordathon. This is a dark Why Choose romance, and we are following Sabine and this town of Lexington. So 5 years ago, the mayor of Lexington, Sebastian Gray, caught word of Sabine's rare ability and lured her off the streets with a job offer she couldn't refuse. Because when Sebastian is not kissing babies or approving city planning budgets, he is ruling the criminal underground as the universally feared and revered gang lord, the Greyman. Now war is brewing, and her crew have been charged with planning and executing the next stage of the Empire's expansion, a recruitment drive involving the next generation of local graduating students. The mission is clear: bring as many new grads into the fold as possible and don't bother coming home without a group of budding young gang leaders known as the Rocks Boys. Sabine doesn't have many memories of her life before Sebastian. Now she finds herself playing part as a senior upperclassman in Roxborough, her supposed hometown. And there's something about these eye-catching Rocks Boys. So it looks like we're going to have a school setting. This sounds like it is going to be a lot of fun. And if I really enjoy it, I do have book 2. So very excited to finally pick up more of E.J. Campbell's work. Next we have a book with a green cover, and for this one I'm going to go with Viciously Yours by Jamie Applegate Hunter. I know it's had a cover change recently, but my audiobook still has this cover, which is nice and green, and this is the first book in the Fae Kings of Eden series. All I know about this one is that we are following a Fae prince who, at the age of 13, the gods bestow upon him the name of his fated mate, who is a human girl. As the sole heir of the Mountain Kingdom, magic binds him until he ascends the throne on his 25th birthday, so he's unable to leave and go find her, and because she's human, she can't escape into the magic realms without him. He's just consumed by her and very upset that he can't go meet her, that he sends her anonymous letters and gifts, which I think is cute. We've got like a bit of a magical pen pal romance until he can cross the border into her kingdom and claim her as his own. 6 months after Amelia's 13th birthday, she receives a strange letter from a Fae boy claiming that she is his mate. Humans weren't taught much about the Fae, and one look of the horrifying dolls meant to be belated birthday gifts solidify her suspicions that someone was playing a cruel joke. Except the letters and odd gifts kept coming. Against her better judgment, Amelia falls in love with the mysterious admirer, certain they would never meet. So I'm kind of loving this idea, and I think it might have that same vibe of the Wraith Kings series by Grace Raven, where we've got two people of different worlds who are kind of going to have to learn each other's customs, or at least Amelia is really going to have to learn the Fae customs, and I'm very excited to finally pick this one up because I've heard nothing but fantastic things. Next is to pick a book with a low average rating that you think you will like, and I'm going to go with Bright Young Things by Samantha Coho. This is also another one I need to catch up on my Buzzwordathon challenge, and this is a YA fantasy which is set in Prohibition age. I have read another series by Samantha Coho which looks at more of the Victorian or Edwardian era, where we're looking at alchemy, and I really enjoyed it, so had to pick this one up. We're following May, who lives on an island, living on the charity of the wealthy prosperers who control the island's magic and its spirits. She longs for magic of her own and a place among the Prosper family where her best friend Coco will see her as an equal, and her crush Miles will finally see her. But tonight is the first night where the Prosperers and their high society friends celebrate the night Lord Prosperous first harnessed the island's magic and started producing ether, a magic fuel source that has revolutionized the world. With everyone returning to the island, May finally has the chance to go after what she always wanted. When the spirits start inexplicably dying, she realizes that things aren't what they seem. And I love that, again, in this book, we're going to have a blend of magic and science, and I think I'm going to really enjoy it. This one did come out a little bit ago in 2022, so it's really about time that I read it. Next, we have a book that takes place in a large city, and I'm going to go with Archangel's Lineage by Nalini Singh. It's really a shame that I'm a couple of books behind in the Guild Hunter series, but we in this book are back with Raphael and Elena, and Raphael is the Archangel of New York, so this book will be set in and around New York. The whole premise of this series is that the world is ruled by archangels, and the archangels have the ability to create vampires. In trade of becoming a vampire, the vampire has to serve their angel for 100 years. Any who go rogue or give into their bloodlust, the Guild Hunters, which Elena is part of, will send out their vampire hunters to go catch them. In the first book, Elena is hired by Raphael to track down a dangerous kind of corrupted archangel, and it goes from there. This is book like 16, so yeah, lots has happened. Unlike her Side Changeling series, Raphael and Elena are the main couple, and we do get multiple books from their point of view, but we also every now and then branch out. It's especially Raphael's inner circle. We've seen all their romances, but definitely if you're in the mood for a urban fantasy, this one is fantastic. I love the take that she has on the vampires that make them fit into this world. Next prompt is violent word in the title, and I'm going with A Fate Inked in Blood. Brie mentioned that blood could count as like a violent word, and I still can't believe I haven't read this. This is a Viking romantasy, and in this we're following Freya, who is kind of having a crap time. She's been sold into an unwanted marriage and spends most of her days plotting how to escape when her husband is an asshole and betrays her, and what ensues is that the Jarl makes her fight to the death against Björn, and she has to unveil her powers and to survive that she has a drop of goddess blood, and she is the daughter of Freya, who is the Norse goddess of fertility and war, which is a cool mix. And this drop of blood means that she's a shield maiden who has the ability to repel any magic, and in fact there is a prophecy going around that whoever marries the shield maiden will be the person to unite this land. So the Jarl thinks that, yep, sure, that's going to be me. So she's handed off to a new husband. And I believe there is like a forced proximity romance that sparkles between her and the son as he is forced to train her. And the second book is coming out soon, or has just come out. So I've really just got to read this one because I love me some Norse mythology. I love a historical fantasy. Love that we're getting fantasy romance set in like a different setting that's not kind of like high fae medieval. This one is definitely a must read. Next we have a celestial or godly word in the title, and I'm going with Heavenly Bodies by Amani Aru, and this is the stunning fairy Prelude edition. I don't know too much about this one. We have Alara, who's been cursed by fate. This world is ruled by stars, who are these merciless gods, and Alara has been cursed by fate, as there's a prophecy that said that she is promised to fall in love with the star, and that will end up killing them both. So when the Star of Wrath descends from the heavens on the hunt for Alara, the neighboring kingdom of Helios decides to sneak her away from the kingdom of night, and she kind of strides straight into the arms of the enemy prince. And there, Alara is forced to let the prince Lorenzo train her into becoming a weapon. She's either got the choice of letting this prince train her into becoming a weapon with the ability to fight against the star, or giving into the prophecy. And I've heard so many people read this recently and they've really loved it, and I'm just excited to dive into this. I love that we've got kind of this celestial vibe to the gods. We've got like a day and night kingdom, and really excited to see how this one plays out. The next prompt is a book that is shorter than the last book you've read. I've decided to keep this one open because I don't know what is going to happen here. I figured that could be a good way to squeeze on like a review copy or anything else that I have planned for that month, or just give me a mood reading option. So that one we will leave to the lap of the gods. Next prompt is to read a book with an over-the-top cover, and I'm going with Tenebrum, I probably said that wrong, by Eleanor Miller, and look at this like gilded art deco cover. This is the first book in her Flappers and False Gods series, and it is a dystopian noir thriller set in a future where the Prohibition Gatsby era has rolled around again. So the year is 2425 and the jazz age is in full swing again. Guys, dolls, gangsters, moles, drugs, and prohibition are just the tip of the iceberg for Detective Thea Williams and mentor Walt, as they struggle to solve a horrific series of murders, all while dealing with the consequences and complications of their not-so-professional relationship. Embroiled in a case and stymied at every turn by the corrupt district attorney, who also happens to be her estranged father, Thea quickly discovers a much more sinister plot. Thrown into the dark world of cult's corruption, Thea must fight to survive, lest Tenebrum City eats her alive. In Tenebrum City, every neon light casts a shadow. And I just think that sounds like so much fun. I love, we've got this dystopian noir, we've got the jazz age, we've got gangsters. This has been on my TBR and I've kind of heard about it since falling in love with The Prince of Prohibition by Marilyn Marks. Like, I think there's now 3 books in this series that are out now, so very excited to finally dive into this one. And last but not least, the final prompt that we know before going into June. I should say, because I haven't said it before, this readathon is taking place for the entire month of June. The final prompt is chilling cover or winter setting, and I'm going to go with winter setting, and I'm going to pick up The Season by Alicia Kemp, which is the first book in her Endless Winter series, and this is a Why Choose sports romance. In this, we're following Lily, who she is living in Hawaii, has had a horrible breakup and wants a chance to escape. So she ends up in Utah, not really the place I would hope to escape to, but she ends up in Utah for the snow season in hopes of becoming a snowboarding instructor. It's pretty much as far away from her problems as she can get, and it provides enough of a distraction that she can kind of move on. It's a perfect escape until it's not. When Lily moves into the overcrowded condo with 6 guys, she expects sweaty thermals, empty beer cans, and drama over kitchen mess. She doesn't expect to lose her heart. Maddie, Liam, Eddie, Antoine, and Seth have nothing in common except for the love of snow and the rundown condo they share in their overpriced ski village, until Lily moves in for the season. So I completely adore Alicia Kemp's writing, and I've loved her Dying Gods series, which is like a Bronze Age time travel romance, and just excited to read more from her. So there you go. That is all the books on my TBR for the Amazing Readathon. Comment down below and let me know if you're taking part, and if so, which team will you be joining? Will you be joining me in the Illusionists or one of the other teams? Or you can leave me any kind of winter emoji for the season. Linked in the description box below will be all the information about this readathon, links to the books, along with my social media channels if you'd like to talk to me or follow me on any other corner of the internet. Anyway, that's it for me today, guys. I hope you're doing all kinds of well, and I will speak to you soon. See ya!